We don't see this car a lot on tour, but we do see it from time to time, especially when we get out the West Coast. And Gary Densham down there on the starting line has turned the reins of this thing over to his kid. You and Gary had some pretty monumental matchups back in the day.
We sure did, and I've known Gary for a long time, and I didn't realize his son was in the car, and he was still out here doing this. That's great.
Yeah, of course, they ran on the nostalgia circuit for a while with Steven driving, had a lot of success over there, and then, typical, right? Like, you had to go through it with your kid. Dad, you got to let me try the big car. Dad, you got to let me. And so they finally brought it out, and Steven Densham, no question about it, he picked up the driving gene.
That's great. I'm glad to see that. That's fun. I hope he does well.
It boggles the mind watching some of the cars out here. Like, every car out here right now is a high gear only machine. Dale was one of the early pioneers of that combination. The lockup clutch is something that he developed. The magnetos that they run, it's been a kind of an extension of a trail that he started down years ago. But you can't look at these cars today and not think of what you guys did 40 years ago to change the sport. Unbelievable.
Dale was just so far ahead, and fortunately we had the budget to be able to go and do that kind of stuff and try things. That's what got us over 300 was the magic word, the magnetos. That's what did it.
If we have a moment, and I'm certainly not helping for any downtime, but if we have a moment, you're going to tell the story of the dyno.
Oh, no. The dyno that blew up.
one of the all-time great Dale Armstrong, Kenny Bernstein stories. All right, Steven, let's fire off on a high note. Man, that thing shoved him directly to the right. He muscled it back into the middle of the groove, and then it puffed the tire out there. And Steven Densham going to end up with a coasting 702 at just 92 miles an hour. So that is going to kick off our funny car qualifying right here. Do you have a favorite mile-high memory, or do you have the one that got away? It amazes me when I talk to racers how often they remember the one run I'd like to have back, or the one race where we really thought we had it in the bag and didn't quite get it done.
No, I don't have any thoughts like that here. I was just tickled every time we won. This is the hard place to race. Great racetrack, great fans, great everything, except we're 5,000 feet in the air. And also we have not much wind, not much push-down force with the atmosphere. So consequently, you're shaking and doing things all the time. It's really tough. So I just remember the ones that we won, and they were great. Besides that, the one I remember, the big one, 42 years with Cheryl.
That's certainly the most important mile-high statistic for you two, no question about it, and still going strong. We've got another anniversary we're going to talk about a little bit later on this evening, as we've got red lights flashing on the top end. They